Good morning. It is 9 a.m. on this Tuesday, July 28th. I'm Melissa Holmes. Thanks for starting your morning with us here on Daybreak. And a major legal victory for federal prosecutors in the case against the gunman who carried out the racist Tops mass shooting. The ruling means jurors could hear more about why prosecutors say Peyton Gendron, that is, carried out the attack and why they believe the death penalty is warranted. A federal appeals court ruled jurors can consider three things. First, that Peyton Gendron targeted his victims because they were black. Second, that he was trying to inspire future acts of racist violence. And third, they'll consider the lasting impact on the people who survived. Those factors could play a critical role if Gendron is convicted at his federal trial, and jurors are asked to decide whether he should be sentenced to death. Gendron is already serving life without parole after pleading guilty to state murder charges for murdering 10 people at the Jefferson Avenue Tops in May of 2022. His federal death penalty trial is expected to begin this fall. A status conference is expected to take place on Thursday. The federal trial of Hadi Matar is expected to continue today. It follows a fifth day of testimony connected to the 2022 stabbing of author Salman Rushdie at the Chautauqua Institution. Yesterday, jurors heard more about the investigation, including evidence collected from Matar's electronic devices. An FBI special agent testified that investigators recovered 2 cell phones and a laptop from Matar's home. And prosecutors say the laptop contained a video of the 1989 fatwa calling for Salman Rushdie's death, along with Discord messages referencing the author's zip code. Jurors were also shown sticky notes that prosecutors say outlined a plan to stab Rushdie. Matar has pleaded not guilty to those federal charges against him. In developing news this morning, a man in Jamestown is sitting in jail on $1 million bail, facing 25 years to life in prison if he's convicted of gruesome murder. 27-year-old Robert Brinkley is being linked to a deadly stabbing that happened in May. And this follows the unsealing of an indictment issued by a Chautauqua County grand jury. Police say Brinkley stabbed Tori Kenny on May 3rd near Lakeview Avenue and East 8th Street in Jamestown. The victim was taken to the hospital where he later died. Brinkley's next court date is scheduled for August 17th. And also in Jamestown, a 19-year-old is facing multiple charges after police say she assaulted another woman over the course of several hours in front of a child. Officers responded to a home on the city's west side Sunday afternoon. They say they heard yelling from inside and also saw a window that was smashed on the side of the home. After investigating the scene, police say 19-year-old Kamara Holloman assaulted a woman with a screwdriver and physically attacked her over the course of several hours while a child was present. Holloman faces several charges, including unlawful imprisonment, endangering the welfare of a child, and assault. She's being held pending arraignment. We are following a new development in the case of a man charged in a deadly crash that happened in Lancaster 4 years ago. A state appeals court has reinstated charges against 23-year-old Ryan Stencil. Prosecutors say Stencil was speeding when he crashed into a tree on Warner Road, killing his 2 19-year-old passengers, Mackenzie Mysick and Molly Kaminsky. The indictment had been dismissed in 2024 over concerns that prosecutors improperly presented evidence to the grand jury. The appeals court reversed that decision yesterday, allowing the case to move forward. If convicted, Stencil faces up to 8 years in prison. An Orleans County woman is facing several charges this morning after a domestic violence incident over the weekend. The sheriff's office says deputies were called to a home in the town of Carlton Saturday night. Investigators say they found a victim suffering from severe cuts and significant blood loss. Deputies provided first aid until paramedics arrived. The victim was then taken to Strong Memorial Hospital in Rochester for treatment. 34-year-old Alyssa Can was arrested and faces charges for assault, criminal possession of a weapon, and endangering the welfare of a child. A Lackawanna man is now facing a murder charge after being indicted by an Erie County grand jury. 50-year-old Sean McDonald is accused of killing 55-year-old Kevin Shore, who was found dead inside a Maple Street home last month. The medical examiner says he died from blunt force trauma to the head and sharp force injuries to the neck and torso. McDonald's also facing 2 counts of forcible touching in connection with a separate incident earlier this year. If convicted of the murder charge, he would face 25 years to life in prison. 9:04 on Daybreak, and as Buffalo Public Schools continue to grapple with sexual harassment allegations, investigations, leadership resignations, and board turmoil, State lawmakers are calling for a greater role from the state education department. Assemblymember Patrick Burke has asked Education Commissioner Betty Rosa, seen here, to appoint a special advisor to the Buffalo schools for 6 months to oversee the superintendent search. Burke says the district needs help rebuilding the professional relationship between the school board and its next superintendent.
One of the most important things is training the board how to have a proper professional relationship with the superintendent, because I don't think that's happened maybe ever.
Now, Burke says the proposal is designed to preserve local control while providing accountability, but other lawmakers say stronger action could be necessary if the problems continue.
That's the step that we don't want to have to take, bringing in a monitor. But if we don't get the ship in order, we're going to have to do that. And that's the bottom line.
For now, both lawmakers are backing what they describe as a softer advisory approach, while warning the district must show progress before the state considers more direct oversight. We had a weather impact alert earlier this morning because of strong storms that moved through the area, mostly in Niagara County. And this is video from Lewiston this morning, which some are reporting saw more than 4 inches of rain, possibly 5 to 6 in Niagara on the lake. So flooded roads here. We're hearing about some reports of flooded basements as well in some areas. And Patrick, I'm sure you're tracking the storm reports. Anything significant?
I would say so. Look at these rainfall totals. Lewiston, the rain began just before midnight. 4.2 inches of rain. Sanborn, 2.18. Arcade, just shy of 2 inches. Batavia, over 1.5 inches. Buffalo, 11 hundredths of an inch. It's been amazing how the last 3, now let's include this one, the last 3 rainfall events across Western New York have soaked some areas and completely missed Buffalo, it seems. And it was, this is not a lake shadow situation. This is just the way the cookie crumbled today, with the heaviest rain up to the north. And now heavy rain, we're going to get some impressive rain totals from Cattaraugus and Allegheny counties later on, and also Bradford, Potter and McKean counties as well. That's where the heaviest rain has pivoted to. I believe the rest of the day will feature some sun breaks, a much quieter afternoon. That's why we've dropped the weather impact alert for the rest of the day today. Having said that, a couple of showers still could pop, but look at that heavy rain in Ellicottville, Salamanca, Allegheny, over towards Bath and Cuba. It looks like Hornell, and then down towards Coudersport, Smethport. Heavy rain here. Thus, we have the flood warning in place for parts of McKean and Cattaraugus counties, with a couple of inches of rain possible in this area. And these warnings are not over in 15-20 minutes. No, the one in Pennsylvania goes to 11:30, 12:15 for the southern Cattaraugus County flood warning. So the rains are going to be, the runoff is going to be slow to fall back down after rising now the water levels here in the last hour or two pretty rapidly. But it looks like minor flooding. Doesn't look major at this point. There we go with the rain. Notice future look kind of takes that rain. Still a couple of showers could occur during the day today, but largely quiet this afternoon. But any shower that does pop could produce some brief heavy rain. Tomorrow, lots of clouds and rain showers here or there, not all day, but scattered showers around for your Wednesday. It'll be cooler because of the clouds. Highs tomorrow only in the upper 60s to low 70s. So additional rain here, a 1/2 inch to 1 inch is still possible across the southern tier. Some areas under those thunderstorms could get a bit more. High numbers today, 70s. Tomorrow a tad cooler, but then it does begin to warm up, and there are signs that it warms up into the 80s through the start of the weekend. And we'll have to see how next week goes. Right now, there's some sense that it could get hot, and some guidance keeps it closer to average. But I think 80s are in our future next week. After spending about a week below average for the most part. Morning thunder showers that have passed. Partly sunny, scattered showers into the afternoon tonight. Mostly cloudy. It will be muggy like it was this morning. Very muggy. Long range forecast starting with tomorrow. Mostly cloudy. There will be showers And Thursday looks a little better. A shower lingers for the southern tier. Friday, mostly sunny. Saturday, mostly sunny. And then scattered thunderstorms expected on Sunday of this weekend.
Okay. And then looking ahead to Bill's training camp, which starts on Wednesday.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow, and then goes through the week. It's not looking too bad at all.
But tomorrow doesn't look great, okay? It doesn't look like the kind of rain that's going to force everybody inside. But the players, it's an 8:30 start in the practice. There could be some rain showers, but it's probably going to be light to moderate. However, we're already in touch with them, giving them updates on their practice schedule for tomorrow. After tomorrow, though, you're right, Melissa. It looks pretty good until I think they're off. They practice Wednesday, Thursday. They're off Friday, Saturday, I think, and then back Sunday.
Okay.
I think that's the deal.
And we know that a lot of fans will be going to training camp tomorrow also, so they got to dress for rain.
I would dress for the chance of rain showers, yes.
Okay, sounds good. We will talk training camp and also talk those controversial new uniforms coming up right after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back, 9:13 on Daybreak. And as we mentioned, the Bills training camp starts tomorrow. And on the heels of it, the team released new alternate uniforms for the upcoming season. They are bold, they're different, they're drawing mixed reaction. Patrick, I'm over here. Patrick wants to read the prompter. Read the prompter, go for it. There, start with there.
The reason I'm looking at it because I'm amazed how much I can't see anymore.
Oh no.
So a lot of it's blurry.
Okay.
So the glasses.
That line says they're being called the Nickel City uniforms.
Look over. It's not that I don't want to look at you. I'm just fascinated by your reading prowess.
This is called a teleprompter. It's like,
I don't use one, so I'm mesmerized.
all right, well then let me take it. I will just describe what the uniforms are.
Patrick, over here.
The color of the uniforms are all gray. It doesn't just represent the color of a nickel, but also they represent the grain elevators, the steel mills, the rail yards of Buffalo's industrial past. There are stripes on the sleeves, but they're also gray stripes, but they're the same size of the stripes on the primary uniform, and they symbolize, as the Bills say, strength and durability. Okay, the blue collar is pretty cool because they're saying that they want to honor the blue collar workers of the past and the present. The helmet, this is the controversial part for most people. It's all blue. It's got the charge, the red stripe. It's got the horn and the eye and the charge streak, but no Bills logo except for a very small one on the front. And the helmet also features metallic flakes. It's the first time in franchise history that the Bills will be wearing a blue helmet. Now, players actually seem to like the uniforms, but fans, not so much.
It was fire. The gray is different. The helmet is drastically different. I can be honest, right? When I first seen it, it didn't grab me. It did not grab me. And I'm an honest guy. When I first seen it, not on me, it did not grab me. And then when I put it on, and then I started to add like the blue shirt underneath and the right cleats and the right gloves, I said, all right, now I see the whole vision.
They're not the greatest. I don't really like how they're getting rid of the red jerseys for them, but I mean, they're kind of cool. I don't really like the helmets though. That's pretty much the only thing that I don't really like about them.
The gray, I don't even know what logo they have on the helmets. I have no idea what's going on with what they were trying to do with the helmets.
People that we are seeing down.
Okay, so the team hasn't announced when they will wear them or how many times. We'll keep you updated on that. I'm hearing it's going to be 2 times, maybe 3. However, they can wear them for the next 5 seasons, just like the white ones that they had last year, the frosted ones. They can wear those for another few seasons as well. So we want to know what you think. We've got a poll up right now. It's really simple. Do you like the Bills' new Nickel City alternate jerseys or not? You can text your answer to 849-2220.
So did you know a good friend of yours and a somewhat friend of mine, Tyler Dunn, did you see his take?
No.
I found it very interesting, and how this is America's bicentennial. Why would you not go all in on red, white, and blue?
Interesting.
And we want to be America's team, red, white. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I kind of like the gray, but it's not that he doesn't, but I just thought it was an interesting take. It's like, yeah, we're a red, white, and blue. Let's.
Maybe they don't want to get political. Not that celebrating America's 250th birthday.
Political.
It's turned into that, even though it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
The Bills have to use what is currently in their color palette. So they have to use red, white, blue.
Sure.
Or gray.
Oh, gray's in their palette.
Gray is in their color palette. So some people are like, why couldn't it be black? Or why couldn't it be? It can't be. So they had to go with that.
So there's an official palette.
Oh, yeah.
They can't
go, each team has a palette.
They can't go like peach.
No peach.
Summer colors.
Right. Salmon. No salmon either. If Patrick Hammer could design the uniform, we'd have salmon and pastel blue.
Some chartreuse over here and some pumpernickel over here. Okay.
So what are your thoughts? I mean, not that anyone really cares what Patrick Hammer and Melissa Holmes thinks about, but what are your thoughts?
Nobody cares what I think. At first, I thought I wasn't in love with it, but then again, I think gray, two colors to me are kind of like royalty. Gray and purple. Okay, we don't have purple, of course. I just like gray. I just think it's a very stately color. I like it, and it's not overpowering. So I believe, to me, it's grown on me. I'm more accepting of it. But I certainly understand those that are not hugely supportive.
For me, it also has started to grow on me a little bit, especially hearing the meaning behind the details of the industrial past and the blue collar and Nickel City. A lot of people don't know why we're the Nickel City. The nickel from 1913 to 1938, which was the Indian head nickel. When you flip it over, there's an American bison on the back, a buffalo on the back. So that's why Buffalo was known as the Nickel City. We're also the Queen City and the City of Light and the City of Good Neighbors. But the Nickel City. Have you
seen the sign as you're driving from Dunkirk in towards Angola, and it says entering Buffalo, and it says America City? That's what the big sign says as you're driving into the city. So that's another one.
It says an All-America City.
It's All-America City?
All-America City, which kind of annoys me because why isn't it an All-American City?
Oh, yeah, All-America City.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what that sign says.
Okay.
But so the helmet. Okay, this is the point of contention. I asked a lot of people. I asked on social media, on my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I've gotten well over 1,000 responses and comments. 90% are negative. The other 10% are saying, I don't care what they wear as long as they win a Super Bowl. But most people are starting to say, I don't mind the jerseys, I just don't like the helmet because there isn't a buffalo on it. So that interview with Deion Dawkins, that surprised me and it kind of opened my eyes. He went on to say that you see the eye of the buffalo and you see the horns and you see the streak. When you put it together, his face is the buffalo, the charge. So like he's leading the charge. Whatever player it is leading the charge. I get it. And
where do you see the eye?
It's in like.
Oh, is it up there on the side?
I wonder if we probably can't pull it back up again. But yeah, you can see that there's a little half circle, and that's the eye. So it's kind of like a half circle. And so if you think about it, their face is really what the buffalo face would be. That's at least how Deion Dawkins described it, and I can see that. And again, if you don't like it, it really doesn't matter. They're only going to be wearing it a couple times.
I know.
And but I think people liked the white and frost blue. What did they call it? The one last year that they wore.
The winter something.
Yeah, and
they promoted it like a
whiteout game.
A whiteout game, right.
Which was kind of silly because it was in October.
Right.
But I also understand they can't really do a whiteout game in December or January when everyone's wearing their black winter coats and their heavy winter stuff. You can't wear white.
Right.
So anyway, people like those jerseys a lot better. These ones, it's fine. And I spoke with someone very high up on the team yesterday who helped to design the jerseys. And he's like, we wish that the fans would like it, but the players like it, and to us, that's all that matters. Josh loves them.
Well,
yeah.
The fans, I think, should have it. They're the reason. Okay. He said we don't.
It doesn't really matter what the fans think, right? Although they're hoping to make a lot of money.
Right.
And this is also an opportunity for the NFL and for the Bills to make money with buying the jerseys.
And that's the other thing. I mean, they're promoting the blue collar, which I totally get. But you know how expensive it is to go to a game.
Right.
So is that blue collar?
And that was a lot of the comments also,
yeah.
that they are pricing out the blue collar workers
right.
who can't afford to go to any of the games, but they're paying homage to them by putting a blue collar on the jersey.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, quite controversial. Not surprising at all that Bills Mafia have a lot to say about the jerseys, but when it comes down to it, let's just win in them.
There you
they
go.
did not win in the white jerseys, the fancy ones
Who'd
last
they play?
year. The Patriots?
They lost to the Patriots, that's right. In New England. No, of course it was
No,
at
it was
home.
here, yeah.
Of course, that's why they,
Yeah.
Right. Wow. They lost in that game.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Right.
Thus they're not going back to that uniform. Because don't they have like a great record with a certain uniform combo? Like the white pants, red shirt or something? It's like white, no, blue and white, blue on white, I think. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll have a little bit more coming up after the break. Stay with us. All right, back to the Bills a little bit. QB1, Josh Allen, is part of an exclusive 99 club. Once again, Madden NFL 27 revealed its 99 club for this year's video game, and Josh Allen is on that list once again for the second straight year. Now, there are 6 players in that club with him. That means that they've got a 99 overall rating. And along with Josh, there is Jamar Chase, Myles Garrett, Trey McBride, Jackson Smith-Jigba, and Matthew Stafford. Now, Caleb Williams is on the cover of Madden 27, but he's not in the 99 club. The game launches worldwide on August 13th. You know about the Madden curse. Madden curse,
I do.
right?
But Caleb hasn't. It's only his 3rd year.
I know.
How does it? And yeah, he had a better year last year, and maybe there's big expectation for the Bears this year, but it's a weird choice.
I'm fine with Josh not being on it. He was on it in 24, and that was fine. But the Madden curse, as you probably know, is that the player who is on the cover will either suffer a really bad injury or will have a really bad year or something bad surrounding him.
Bad mojo.
I'm okay with Josh not being on the cover. And it's great that he's in the 99 club. I mean, only 6 players.
So are those, that 99 rating is from whom?
That's no, it's Madden, the video game creators give them scores.
Okay.
And so obviously 100 is the best score. So he's at 99. Who was it? I was watching the Bills Embedded episode, and it may have been, I think it was DJ Moore. Yes, it was DJ Moore, and he was talking, the kids he was interacting with were like, you're only an 84, you're only an 84. And he's like, I'm better than an 84. And so the players brag about their rating.
To them.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
their score. And so DJ Moore was really upset.
DJ Moore has dove into this community.
Yes.
He's doing a lot of stuff for the community.
Yep.
And he hasn't, most people don't even know him yet.
Right.
And what a way to make an entrance.
Yeah.
Make an impact and using his
He was only here for several days or maybe a couple weeks and already had a camp for kids here in Buffalo. And I really liked learning a little bit about him and seeing his personality and the way he's also an amazing bowler. Really, has his own bowling ball, engraved and everything. And so it was just fun to see his personality, interacting with the players, interacting with the kids, and seems like a veteran. It was pretty cool.
No, I heard that story. I was like, gosh, again, I love it. It's a great way to start, and lots expected from him.
Yeah.
But he's got an amazing career, so hopefully it continues here.
Yes, doesn't matter what your Madden score is. All right, lots of things going on this weekend. So let's look ahead to the weekend already, shall we? It is not St. Patrick's Day, Patrick's birthday, but we are still celebrating Irish heritage and dance and beer, of course. It is the Irish Fest taking over the Old First Ward this weekend. It's returning to Riverfest Park, or if you live down there, you know it as Peg's Park, Peg Overdorf, bringing together thousands to celebrate Irish heritage, food, music, and more. The festival chairman, Tim Flanagan, says there will be speakers all weekend teaching people more about the Irish traditions.
We're going to have some other things going on. We have some great guest speakers coming in. Tim Herzog's going to talk about brewing in the Irish tradition. So that's going to kind of, have a nice little draw in for everybody. A lot of arts and crafts for the kids to take part in. We have some great bands coming in. The Prodigals are coming up from New York City, and we have the Fenians coming out from California. So we're really excited to have them here for the first time at the festival.
And the festival runs this Saturday and Sunday. Admission is $10, and for the full schedule of events, you can head to buffaloirishfestival.com. And weather again for this weekend for the Irish Festival.
Saturday looks good. Sunday, a couple showers, but nothing crazy at this point. So right now, it looks decent.
Okay.
Saturday especially.
And for today, Food Truck Tuesday, we know
I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could there be a shower? But what time does it start?
Like 5 to 8
Yeah,
is the big time.
I think it should be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Do I sound confident?
No.
I think it's going to be. I think.
Okay.
No.
And if you're going to training camp tomorrow, again, wear a poncho,
be
pack
prepared for a
rain.
chance of rain. 8:30.
Joe Brady is talking to the media at 8. We hope that we will be able to carry his press conference live right here as we're streaming on WGRZ Plus, and then they start practicing at 8:30. And so we'll have our updates from our sports team throughout the day tomorrow as training camp begins.
Begins really today. I mean, they show up today.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, we'll have to see if anyone brings anything fun. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.